Once in a while your lures are going to get a haircut for one reason or another, possibly from wahoo, or you just don't like the colour of the skirt on the lure and you want to change it. These skirts are glued, so we'll show you how to basically get these off and put a new set on. Now the tools I like using most of all are a little flathead screwdriver. Put it under the skirt, lift up slightly, push it down through the glue, and then just move it around the lure skirt to lift the skirt off. All I'm doing is turning around the flat-headed screwdriver, and I've gone through all the skirts, and then all we do is pull them off. It's as easy as that. Very, very simple, easy system. Okay, now we have a lure head and we've got some new skirts. Now it's important to understand the shape of these skirts. What we have here is what is called an octopus skirt. It's got a head on it, and then it's got this nice taper basically coming from here, which we'll call the neck, and it tapers out wider. Lure heads come in different sizes, and we're trying to use often the one size skirt to fit on it. So, for example, if I cut that lure skirt across the neck, it's going to be at its narrowest point, which may suit this lure, but it probably won't. Because this lure head is slightly wider, we're going to come up from the neck slightly, and we're going to cut it about 1/4 of an inch up. Now, every lure is different. If you're not sure, cut at the neck. If the skirt's too tight, you can always take the skirt off and cut it again. Okay, that's skirt one. We've just cut around it. If you cut straight, and we'll try it up here, we'll show you what happens. You can see here now that that skirt is now curved. It's not straight. That's why when we cut the skirts, we actually start with a little nick, and we actually cut our way on one level all the way around. To get them on, it's incredibly easy. See that finger there? All I do is hold the bottom of the skirt under the lure, and then I use these fingers, pull it up and over the base of the lure head. Now, using a flat-headed screwdriver, or I keep actually stabbing myself with screwdrivers, so I actually use a chopstick cut down with a razor blade so that it's nice and round. It's not very sharp, so I don't keep jamming it in my finger. I won't cut myself. All you do is put it inside the skirt and raise, maneuver that skirt into position just by lifting it up slightly. Now, if that skirt isn't where you want it, you can actually maneuver that just by rotating. You can see how I'm moving that skirt around? Okay, I don't want it there. We'll put it back in a position where I actually want it, which is about there. Okay, well, that's all good. Now, put the lure head face down onto a table or the deck. Simply peel the back skirt back to expose some of that shoulder. Then we get the underskirt. Once again, put the finger underneath the lure head, grip it with your finger, lift up, and that should just slide on there. Now you notice we haven't glued anything yet. Okay? It's just sitting there nice and even. And then we get some super glue. Put a little bit of glue around the top of the bottom skirt, and put another bead underneath on the lure head, just underneath the top skirt, on that rim. Job's done, just a single bead. And what's going to happen now is when I fold this skirt back, this skirt will be glued to the lure head, and the top skirt will be glued to the bottom skirt. That makes it a whole lot easier to get that lure skirt off. Then all we do is fold it back, and that lure is done. But it's not finished. We have to check a few things. You'll notice that when you check the strands, just hold the lure skirt down and make sure that the lure skirt is cut, the strands are cut above that shoulder. If they're not, just get your scissors and trim them up. That's quite important. Down the other end, when you buy lure skirts, you'll find that quite often they're longer than the skirt you took off. So you may want to trim them. If they're fine, leave them alone. If not, just get a pair of scissors and trim them. And you'll notice on Pakula skirts that we've actually got marks down the bottom for the last 2 inches with 3 different marks, so you can actually get all your skirts nice and level. That really is all there is to re-skirting a lure. It's incredibly easy. Now, the reason we don't tie skirts on is because skirts are different widths. As you can see, in different colours, for example, that's a chartreuse skirt. It's got red stripes which add thickness. It's got the green on the back which also adds thickness. If you tie the skirts by doubling the skirt over, you actually double those inconsistencies which could lead to your lure spinning. So that's why we glue skirts on. Basically takes away some of the inconsistencies, helps your lure be a lot more stable, and it's pretty quick to do. Give it a try.